The Konnekt Videophone is incredibly simple to use. For a start, it's not like a tablet or a phone. It has a very large 15-inch screen, so very easy to see the other person, their life size. It doesn't feel like you're talking to a little tablet. The buttons, the call buttons, they can be as large as your hand. So imagine that, 6-inch buttons. So someone who's finds it difficult to coordinate the hands and the eyes finds it easy to hit. Two large, real inbuilt speakers, not little buzzy things that you can barely hear, so they can crank up the volume, and very easy to see with the high contrast colors. But best of all, there are no menus, no logins, no password, there's no keyboard or mouse, there's nothing to accidentally hit when you press the sides of the frame, and there's no need to go and plug it into a charger or lead it against a special charging pad. It just works.
Now, I believe you've developed some other technology so that as people you lose their short-term memory and they can't read people's names, you can now put a picture of their face up and they can hit that.
That's really good for people who have got a lot of grandkids. My gosh, I've got 6 grandkids. I have trouble remembering who's who, and they grow every year. So we can put a little a picture of their face next to their name. And for example, you might put Carol, my daughter, or John, my son, and then a picture of the face. And every time they look up from the chair and they see the screen, which can be always on there with the buttons, they're instantly reminded. And so hopefully when John calls in, hi John, how you doing, John? Rather than, oh, which one of the grandkids is this one?
And you've also developed something for people who with hearing loss too, haven't you?
Oh yes, this is a recent innovation and it's proving to be so successful. So we already had super loudspeakers, a powered external speaker to go extra loud, hearing aid compatibility, and a bunch of other features to make it easy. Then we started to get inquiries from people who had profound or severe hearing loss. So that means, in layman's language, deaf or almost deaf. So we added captioning. So now, as I'm speaking to you, you can not only listen to my voice, you can not only see my facial expressions as I'm nodding my head or shaking or smiling or frowning, you can also read the captions. They come up in less than 2 seconds. So that innovation has just opened up a different world and once again reduced depression risk for those who are very vulnerable to social isolation. First of all, we talk to either the user or a relative to determine what the requirements are. So how's the hearing, the eyesight, how's their hand-eye coordination, the dexterity, do they have an issue getting, even reaching the screen? So we can provide a little access button that they can hit if they're confined to a bed or a wheelchair, all kinds of options. Then we talk about who are the contacts, and we set up all the family members and friends, perhaps the services such as a doctor or a nurse or podiatrist. So we set them all up with the call buttons. We adjust the ringtone so it doesn't confuse them if they've still got another phone, the color scheme, the size of the buttons, the text, even the language. So right now we've got at the Videophone, not only in Australia, where most of them are, but in 10 or 20 countries overseas in other languages. So we customize every aspect, and as the user ages and their needs may change, we can increase the volume, increase the contrast, the button size, almost every aspect, so that can be a single device that they can just continue to use.
Just connecting. He can't really communicate now and have a conversation with us, but he can respond to the things that we say. Oh, gentle, please. Just be gentle. He can respond to the things that we say and a smile and a nod, and so that's kind of the stage we're at now. But a couple of years ago, we were able to have a good conversation with him, and the video was great for that too.
I noticed after a couple of years that there was no outgoing calls, and that then got me a bit concerned. And I discovered she couldn't use a traditional phone, and I found a video phone, and it was ideal for her. Mum couldn't hold a phone and she couldn't dial. She'd lost that ability. And with the video phone, it meant that we could see buttons on the screen with the names of the people that she would normally be in regular contact with. And all she needed to do was touch the screen. She didn't need to have any special skills in using computers.
The brilliance of Konnekt and why Mum could use it at 103 and couldn't use a phone at all because of her hearing so bad, it was because it was so simple. The guys who designed this have simplified it down to a point where it doesn't matter whether you're 70, 80, 90 or 100, you can use it. Mum was living proof of that. Hearing loss is a mild, she was deaf as a post. I mean, really, she couldn't hear. Until about 2 years ago, the hearing aids worked fairly well. And then we had hearing aids plus earphones over the hearing aids. And that also gave us a bit more. But then when this COVID came and we weren't allowed to visit and all that, then she would have been cut off from the world completely. They got it down to be so simple that Mum could read, I think she had 10 names on her screen. She just reach over and touch the screen and it would come alive and all these names would be listed. And then she would touch the name and that person would be called on. Their software is brilliant in it. It sorts out and understands what's happening. And so all Mum had to do was touch the screen to call us. And when she got a call, incoming call, just touch the screen to answer it and then touch the screen again to hang up. So she didn't have to do any technology. That's all done for her.